Most people believe luxury jewelry has to cost thousands of dollars. Walk into almost any jewelry store, and the brightest showcase in the room usually belongs to diamonds, emeralds, rubies, and sapphires. Those four stones have decided what expensive is supposed to look like. But here's what most buyers never discover. Some natural gemstones look every bit as striking as those famous four, sometimes even more colorful, while costing only a small fraction of the price. That does not mean they're fake. It does not mean they're low quality. It simply means the market values them differently. By the end of this video, you'll know 10 natural gemstones that give you the luxury look without the luxury price. And one near the top makes even experienced jewelers do a double take. So before we start, ask yourself this: if money didn't matter, which expensive gemstone would you replace? Keep that answer in mind, because your perfect match might be on this list. Let's count down. Number 10. Smoky quartz. Let's start somewhere most gemstone videos ignore completely: the men's jewelry counter. Walk past the high-end watches and signet rings, and you'll spot deep, smoky brown stones set in heavy silver and matte gold. They look powerful, expensive, serious. Most of them are smoky quartz. Consider the psychology at work. When a man wears a warm brown stone in a bold, masculine setting, nobody's guessing the mineral. They're reading the whole picture: the weight of the metal, the confident color, the clean cut. And that's what signals money. And smoky quartz delivers all of it while costing almost nothing. Its color runs from soft cognac to deep espresso, the shade of good whiskey held to the light. It reminds people of smoky topaz and warm-toned diamonds, but it's found abundantly and grows in large crystals, so the price never climbs. This is exactly why you'll see it in modern men's rings, cufflinks, and minimalist unisex designs. Pieces that want gravity without a price tag. If you're buying, look for even color that stays consistent from every angle, and ask whether it's been heat-treated to deepen the tone. Either way, you're getting a grown-up, understated luxury look for the price of a nice dinner. Number 9. Garnet. Garnet doesn't just look old money, it is old money. Long before modern jewelry existed, it filled the treasure chests of the Victorian era. Grieving widows wore it in mourning brooches. Bohemian craftsmen packed entire pieces with tiny, glowing garnets until the whole surface looked like it was on fire. This is a stone with genuine history built into it. That heritage is the secret to why it looks so expensive. When people see garnet's deep, velvety red glowing from inside an antique-style setting, their brain reads heirloom, and heirlooms feel priceless. Slide one across a restaurant table under low light, and most people will simply say, "What a gorgeous ruby," because the eye reads the color of luxury long before it could ever name the species. The affordability comes down to plain supply. Red garnet is mined steadily across many countries, so there's plenty of it, and abundance, not beauty, is what sets the price. Antique jewelry collectors adore it. January babies claim it as their birthstone, and anyone chasing that vintage, storied look reaches for it. A word of insider advice: garnet is almost never treated, so you're usually getting a 100% natural stone. Just avoid ones so dark they look black in low light. You want that living, glowing red. Number 8. Blue topaz. Now let's talk about size, because this is where blue topaz quietly wins. Ask any jeweler. The single fastest way to make jewelry look expensive is to make the stone big. A large center stone reads as luxury instantly, before anyone examines a thing. And with most gems, going big means going broke. Blue topaz breaks that rule. Picture a huge, brilliant, electric blue stone filling a cocktail ring, the kind of size that would run you several $1,000s in aquamarine or blue sapphire. In blue topaz, that same show-stopping stone can cost less than a decent pair of shoes. Same visual punch, a tiny fraction of the price. For honesty's sake, most blue topaz begins as colorless topaz and gets its blue through a safe, permanent, industry-standard treatment. Because that process is reliable and the raw crystals are plentiful and large, you get maximum visual impact for minimum money. No wonder designers reach for it when a client wants a bold statement piece, and no wonder it's a favorite December birthstone. Buying tip: since nearly all blue topaz is treated, a good seller will tell you openly. That's normal, not a warning sign. Pick the biggest, cleanest stone in the blue that speaks to you. So far, we've looked at gemstones that surprise people because of their price. The next ones surprise people for a different reason entirely. They often get mistaken for gems worth many times more. From here on, the double take factor really begins. Keep watching, because the closer we get to number 1, the harder it becomes to believe these stones don't carry luxury price tags, and number 1 in particular has quietly become one of the most talked about diamond substitutes among jewelers today. Number 7. Citrine. Citrine has a glamorous secret. It loves a spotlight. Its glowing golden to honey color photographs beautifully, which is exactly why big, sunny citrine cocktail rings and statement pendants keep turning up in fashion editorials and on stylists' pull racks. When a designer needs warmth and drama that reads on camera without blowing the budget, Citrine gets the call, and that's the psychology of it. A large, richly saturated golden stone in a glamorous setting looks like a fortune. Most viewers would guess yellow sapphire or the pricier imperial topaz, because again, we recognize the impression of luxury, not the mineral underneath it. Citrine gives that impression for pennies on the dollar. The low price comes down to family. Citrine belongs to the abundant quartz clan, and it forms in large, clean crystals. When a gorgeous stone comes out of the ground big and flawless, jewelers can offer serious carat weight cheaply. It's a favorite for fashion-forward pieces, bold cocktail rings, and November birthdays. One tip before you buy: chase color and clarity, not just size. Look for a citrine that's eye-clean with a deep, glowing tone, because you can easily afford the beautiful version instead of settling for a pale one. Number 6. Peridot. Some gemstones are trendy. Peridot is ancient. Over 3,000 years ago, Egyptian miners pulled it from a scorching island in the Red Sea, working at night because they believed the glowing green stones were easier to spot in the dark. They called it the gem of the sun. Some historians even believe a few of Cleopatra's legendary emeralds were actually peridot. Sit with that for a second. A stone that adorned pharaohs, that people once mistook for emerald, and that today you can own for very little. When you know that story, peridot stops looking cheap and starts looking timeless. History is the real trick. It's what makes a gem feel precious. And peridot carries more of it than almost anything on this list. Its color helps too. A fresh, glowing, slightly golden green unlike anything else, often clearer and glassier than emerald itself. It stays affordable thanks to steady, reliable modern mining, not scarcity. Peridot suits history lovers, August birthdays, and anyone who wants a green that's entirely its own. A practical note: peridot is a little softer than some stones here, so it shines best in earrings, pendants, and occasional wear rings. Set it securely, and it'll glow for generations. Why expensive doesn't always mean better. Let's pause the countdown, because this next part changes how you'll shop forever. There's a truth the jewelry world rarely says out loud. Price and beauty are not the same thing. A gemstone's cost is shaped by far more than how stunning it looks. Marketing plays an enormous role in what we believe is valuable, and there's something deeper underneath it all. A simple fact about human beings: most people don't recognize gemstone species. They recognize color. Almost nobody looks at a ring and thinks, "That's a spinel," or "That's a zircon." They think blue, red, sparkly, expensive. That's the whole secret this video is built on. If a stone shows the color and shine our brains associate with luxury, we read it as luxury, no matter what it's actually called. For over a century, 4 gemstones, diamond, ruby, sapphire, and emerald, have owned that association. We call them the Big Four. They earned it partly through real beauty and rarity, but also through decades of powerful advertising that taught the entire world to want them. That advertising worked so well that dozens of equally gorgeous stones ended up standing in their shadow. Everything outside that famous group gets little to no marketing, no global campaigns, no romantic slogans. So even when a stone is beautiful, durable, and genuinely rare, fewer people know to ask for it, and lower demand keeps the price down. There's one more layer. When you buy from a luxury brand, much of the price often comes from the name, the design, and the box, not the stone itself. Craftsmanship has real value, but it's worth knowing what you're paying for. None of this means the famous gems are a trick, and it doesn't mean anyone's being deceived. It simply means the market rewards attention as much as rarity. Lower demand does not equal lower beauty. Once you truly understand that, a whole world of overlooked, spectacular gemstones opens up, which brings us to the top 5. Number 5. Amethyst. a fact that stops people cold. Amethyst was once as prized as diamonds. For centuries, its rich purple was reserved for royalty and the church, because purple itself was the color of power, rare, expensive, and off-limits to ordinary people. Russian Empress Catherine the Great sent miners searching for the finest amethyst. Bishops wore it, crowns held it. Here's the twist that makes it perfect for this list. Centuries ago, an amethyst this rich might have cost a small fortune, fit for a coronation. Today, that same regal purple can sit in a beautiful ring for the price of a nice lunch. The look didn't change, only the price did. A deep amethyst still reads as coronation on the hand, no matter how little you paid. So why can anyone afford it now? The moment enormous deposits were discovered, the supply exploded. Amethyst didn't lose an ounce of beauty. It simply became available to everyone, instead of only emperors. It's perfect for February birthdays, lovers of vintage and regal styles, and anyone drawn to that calm, powerful purple. It's also durable enough for everyday wear. Color is everything here. Hold out for a deep, even purple, with little flashes of red or blue. Because amethyst is so affordable now, there's no reason to settle for a pale, washed-out stone. Quick question before we reveal the top 4. Which stone has surprised you the most so far? Drop its name in the comments. I'm curious which one you'd actually wear. Because from here, it only gets better. The final gemstones aren't just affordable, they're the ones that make experienced jewelers stop and look twice when they're beautifully cut. If you're shopping soon, these are the names to remember, because this is where affordable and stunning truly collide. Number 4. Iolite meet a stone almost no shopper can name, which is exactly why it's a bargain. Iolite is a deep, velvety violet blue that looks so much like sapphire and tanzanite that it's earned the nickname Water Sapphire. Set one in white gold and hand it around a table of 10 people. Most will call it a sapphire. A few will guess tanzanite. Not one will guess its real name, and nobody will believe it costs less than their lunch. But its best feature is its story. 1,000 years ago, Viking navigators are said to have used thin slices of iolite as the world's first polarizing filter, holding it to the sky to locate the hidden sun on cloudy days and steer their ships across open ocean. A gemstone that helped discover new worlds, and today it costs almost nothing. The reason? Pure lack of fame. Iolite never got a marketing push, so despite looking like two of the most expensive blue gems on Earth, it stayed a quiet secret among collectors and designers. It's ideal for anyone who loves sapphire's look but not its price, and for people who want a conversation piece. The key when buying: Iolite can show different colors from different angles, so a good cut is everything. Buy one cut to face up in its richest blue-violet. Number 3. White zircon. This one fools people constantly, and there's real science behind it. Natural white zircon has genuine brilliance and fire, meaning it throws those tiny rainbow flashes we all associate with diamonds. Set it well, and at a glance across a table, it's shockingly convincing. Put a well-cut white zircon beside a diamond, and most people won't spot the difference. Only the jeweler will, and only up close. But this next point is the single most useful thing in the entire video, and it's the reason zircon stays so underrated. Natural white zircon is not cubic zirconia. They sound almost identical, and that one confusion has quietly wrecked zircon's reputation for decades. Cubic zirconia is a man-made, mass-produced imitation. White zircon is a real, natural gemstone that formed inside the Earth over millions of years. Same sounding name, completely different worlds. That name confusion is actually why it's so cheap. A genuine, natural, diamond-like gem gets overlooked simply because people mix it up with a lab-made look-alike. Their loss is your bargain. It's perfect for diamond lovers on a budget who still want something real and earth-formed, not synthetic. When you buy, say the word natural out loud and confirm you're getting zircon, not zirconia. Any honest jeweler will happily verify it. Then choose an eye-clean stone with a sharp, precise cut to unlock that beautiful fire. We're down to the final 2, and these prove something remarkable. Beauty and price don't always travel together. The next stone fooled royalty for centuries, and the one after it is quietly becoming one of the most popular natural diamond alternatives in the world. If you've been waiting for the showstoppers, they're right here. Number 2. Spinel. This is the greatest case of mistaken identity in the history of jewelry, and it went all the way to the crown. For centuries, one of the most famous rubies in the British crown jewels, the legendary Black Prince's ruby, was worn by kings, carried into battle, and treasured as a priceless red gem. It isn't a ruby at all, it's a Spinel. Let that land. If the royal jewelers of an entire empire couldn't tell Spinel from ruby for hundreds of years, with a crown on the line, what chance does a casual glance across a dinner table have? This isn't a stone that merely resembles ruby. It's the one history itself confused with it, at the highest level imaginable. Spinel's brilliance is exceptional. It comes in gorgeous reds, pinks, and blues, and it's usually completely untreated, a purely natural gem straight from the earth, which collectors deeply respect. Its low price traces to the same culprit as the others, no marketing spotlight. It stayed a jeweler's secret, and secrets stay cheap. It's the choice of serious collectors, custom jewelers, and anyone who wants a rare, natural, brilliant stone almost nobody can identify. Shop smart. Fine Spinel is prized for its natural, untreated beauty, so ask about treatment and buy from someone knowledgeable. Chase vivid color and strong sparkle. Number 1. White Sapphire. And now the stone that surprises everyone. Number 1 is white sapphire, and its power comes from one jaw-dropping fact. It's a member of the Big Four. Sapphire sits right there in luxury's inner circle, beside diamond, ruby, and emerald. And yet, in its colorless form, it costs a tiny fraction of a diamond the same size. Picture 2 rings side by side, a diamond solitaire and a white sapphire cut to match. Across a room, at dinner, even shaking hands, almost nobody will tell them apart. One might carry a 5-figure price tag. The other could cost a couple $100s. Only a jeweler with a loupe will know the difference. And they're not the one you're trying to impress. Think about why the name matters too. Everyone already trusts Sapphire. It's spent a century being marketed as precious. So when you say your stone is a natural sapphire, which is completely true, it carries all that built-in prestige, just in the clear, crystal white version instead of the famous blue. The low price? Blame the market's fixation on blue sapphires and diamonds, which leaves this gorgeous, colorless one wonderfully overlooked. And it's tough enough to prove itself. Sapphire is the second hardest gemstone on Earth after diamond, so a white sapphire handles daily wear and a lifetime of use with ease. That's why it's become one of the fastest-growing diamond alternatives in fine jewelry, especially for engagement rings. Buying tip cut is king. Choose a white sapphire with an excellent, precise cut and eye-clean clarity to bring out that diamond-like sparkle. Set it well, and you've got true luxury for a fraction of the expected price. Outro, so there you have it. 10 natural gemstones that deliver the luxury look without the luxury budget. From the quiet power of smoky quartz to the diamond-like brilliance of white sapphire, every one proves the same quiet truth. A stone doesn't need a famous name or a shocking price to be genuinely beautiful. And remember what really fools us. We don't recognize gemstone species, we recognize color, sparkle, and story. Once you know that, the whole game changes. These aren't budget substitutes. They're spectacular stones the market simply overlooked, with rich color, real history, and reputations that make them worth owning in their own right. So the next time you walk into a jewelry store, don't ask which gemstone is the most expensive, ask which one gives you the most beauty for your money. That single question turns you from a shopper into someone who actually knows what they're looking at. Tell me in the comments, which of these 10 are you adding to your wish list? And which expensive gemstone would you finally replace now that you've seen its stunning, affordable match? If this opened your eyes, share it with someone who loves jewelry, and subscribe for more insider gemstone guides. Beautiful jewelry was never really about the price. It was always about knowing what to look for.